Hi guys, good evening. My name is Nix, and today I'm going to continue what I was talking about yesterday. I was stopped her on the line about domestic abuse. For a couple of my videos, it's going to be about toxic relationships and how to navigate through that. And mainly, I'm kind of talking about like when guys and ladies and people go through it, because I don't think as a society we really support guys that go through abuse as much as we would if a lady was going through it. But again, this is just my opinion. This is what I think, what I feel. You don't have to agree with me, and you don't have to see the same things as I do. This is just for like information, and also just kind of putting it out there that we should be more aware that these situations happen to everybody, not just a particular group of people. Anyways, like I stated, when it comes to domestic abuse, the laws, in my opinion, really don't help you out with it. Because you have to have proof on how it happened, who's starting the abuse, what's going on. When you're a guy and you're in an abusive situation, like a physical abusive situation, a lot of times people suspect it being the ladies that are going through that, not really guys. And when a guy is going through it, you have to be able to be able to show the fact that person is doing it. Because if it just seems like both of y'all are abusing one another, then one of you guys may go to jail or may not go. It may be for a few days or a week or whatever. And there, of course, will be on record that so-and-so is an abusive person or whatever it may be. And it's really just a slap on the hand. And if it continues, they'll also advise you to do a restraining order. A restraining order is a piece of paper that is signed saying that this person has to stay away from you or stay a certain amount of distance or whatever it may be. And you can do everything from the book in a row, all listed out, and it doesn't stop the person from coming over there stalking you or killing you or, giving you heaven's creation or gaslighting, which I'll go into a bit later of what that is. But just domestic abuse is not really taken seriously like it should. In my opinion, it really isn't, because there's a lot of people out there that are going through physical assault and physical abuse. There's a lot of guys in this world that are going through, just like ladies, physical abuse and sexual abuse. And the turmoil and the stuff that it creates in your mind is not right. Yet when you go to the police officer, right? And I'm not saying that the police officers are bad. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that their hands are tied and they're unable to go above and beyond the way they would like to deal with the situation, because the law just prohibits them to do as much as they can. And what they can do is basically a band-aid. Again, I'm not coming against police officers. I'm not saying that it's the police officer's fault why situations such as this have not been settled in the right way. I am saying that the law that we have, the rules that we listen to and abide by, in my opinion, in my thoughts, and for what I've seen and gone through a little, it doesn't really make sense. So my greatest weapon is a restraining order. My greatest voice is calling them, hoping that I get them in time to stop whatever damage is coming on. I'm going to play on both sides. Alright, I'm a guy. Just go with me on this. And if you want to, you can correct me, below or whatever, and be like, it's like that, but not this way, if you feel comfortable for it. Anyways, if I was a guy, right, and I'm with this lady, we've been together for some years, and she is constantly hitting me. What goes through my mind is, how am I even, my thing is, I wanted people to believe me because I don't think they will. And I also have to be like, I called the police many times. Say like you have, right? You call the police, you set up everything, and somehow, in some way, they keep coming back, or you can't get rid of them. And for whatever reason, they show up in your house unexpected, right? Starting to beat you and hit you and threaten your life, and they have a gun, and things are just crazy. So you run to the room while they're shooting bullets, trying to stray away and not getting hit, locking the door, and calling the police officers and telling them that your ex has showed up with a gun and she is threatening you. And there is, proof that in the past you've experienced physical and verbal and so forth on such abuse and mistreatment by this individual, by this person, right? And they show up 20 minutes, and now you have 20 minutes or 10 minutes or however long it takes for them to get there to make sure that you're not getting hurt. You can either fight back, and hopefully they'll understand that you have self-defense, which if you have no choice, okay, I understand. You have to defend yourself. Or you can try to evade it. But that situation, due to the fact that she's going against the restraining order, it still puts your life at risk. So my thing is what is the point? And even if you don't get it, you'll get questioned, why didn't you get a restraining order? Why didn't you go through this, process to get everything done? And at the end of the day, it's like you're darned if you do and you're darned if you don't. Because it doesn't stop. Like, the thing is, this person can show up at any moment. Maybe you're lucky and they just leave, they give up, they don't really care anymore, they're doing their own thing, and they just leave you alone, and you don't have to deal with having that person in your life anymore. All you have to do is work on being able to heal and become more comfortable with who you are and accept that you're not at fault for whatever happened. Like I stated before, the series and feelings that you'll go through being out of these relationships, especially when they're toxic, it's draining. And I think for guys, it's not a lot more emotional, but I feel like there is a big emotional impact on y'all because you did love this person. And maybe you still love them when you get out, but you can't be with them, and that sucks. And you just kind of have to learn, or maybe distract yourself and be able to do things that help you heal. Anyways, if it was a lady, right, and the situation was flipped, and this guy has records of being abusive and mean, it's still the same thing. He shows up with a gun, right? Maybe she has a boyfriend. Maybe in the other situation you have a girlfriend and she kills the girlfriend and she's coming after you. It couldn't be avoided with the restraining order. It couldn't be avoided without it. Why can't people who do domestic violence get more than just a few years or some months? Why not really go over there and try to get it to where this doesn't happen to anybody else or you again? And the law just doesn't, in my opinion, do that. Anyways, if it was a lady, it'd be the same thing. Her boyfriend or her husband or whoever gets killed, the kids are at school, they don't know what's going on, a mother is hurt or even worse, and they did everything that they could. They followed all the rules, all the procedures, all the necessities, right? And yet it still ended up badly. Not saying that all domestic situations end up in despair. There's some of them that end up like really good, like, they get dealt with, the person that's abusing you isn't there anymore, and you're able to heal and take your time and really see your life flourish. Again, you have to go over there and go through your stages, which I'll talk a lot more on the next one. Thank you guys for your time, and I hope that y'all are doing great.